Breaking news: Manila defies Beijing. The world awoke to headlines that no one expected, as the Philippines took a bold stand against one of the most powerful nations on Earth. Newsrooms buzzed with urgency, and the story quickly dominated every major outlet across the globe. The Philippine Coast Guard, undeterred by the imposing presence of the Chinese Navy, stood its ground in a tense maritime standoff. These brave men and women, outnumbered and outgunned, refused to yield an inch of their nation's territory. In a show of unity, the United States and the Philippines launched joint military exercises, sending shockwaves throughout Asia. Warships and soldiers trained side by side, signaling to Beijing and the world that Manila was not alone in this struggle. Analysts everywhere asked the same question: how did a small island nation become China's biggest headache? The answer lies in the strategic waters of the South China Sea, where every reef and shoal has become a flashpoint in a high-stakes geopolitical chess game. These aren't headlines from a distant future. They are today's reality. It's October 6, 2025, and the world is witnessing history unfold in real time. Across continents, people gather around screens, captivated by this David versus Goliath saga. International journalists rush to the scene, eager to capture every development as Southeast Asia becomes the epicenter of global attention. The Philippines, long considered a smaller player on the world stage, now finds itself at the very heart of a global power struggle. Its leaders and diplomats are thrust into the spotlight, representing not just their nation, but the hopes of many who value sovereignty and freedom. Against all odds, the Philippines is pushing back, intercepting Chinese vessels, blocking their advance, and making it clear that their sovereignty is not up for negotiation. Beijing, with its vast fleet and economic might, is learning a hard lesson. Size and power do not guarantee victory. The courage and determination of a smaller nation can change the course of history. Tensions are palpable, with daily reports of close encounters and near collisions in the contested waters of the South China Sea. Every day brings new risks, and the world holds its breath, hoping for peace, but bracing for escalation. Filipino patrol boats, though dwarfed by their adversaries, refuse to back down. Their resolve is unwavering, their mission clear: defend their homeland at all costs. Every aggressive maneuver is captured on camera, broadcast to the world in real time. By documenting each encounter, the Philippines is not just defending its waters, it's winning the battle for international opinion and support. This assertive transparency has turned the tables on Beijing's tactics. By exposing every incident, Manila forces the world to confront the reality of China's actions. The Philippines shines a relentless spotlight on China's maneuvers, compelling global scrutiny and rallying support from nations that value a rules-based order. This defiance is not reckless. It is calculated, rooted in international law, national pride, and a deep sense of justice. The Philippines stands firm, knowing the world is watching. Today, the Philippines stands as a symbol of resistance and hope, representing a powerful vision for Asia's future, one where even the smallest nations can shape the destiny of the region. The South China Sea is one of the most strategic and contested locations on the planet. Stretching over 3.5 million square kilometers, it connects the Pacific and Indian Oceans, making it a vital crossroads for global commerce, military power, and regional influence. It's a global superhighway for trade, with nearly 1/3 of all international shipping, worth trillions of dollars, passing through its waters every year. Oil, gas, electronics, and everyday goods all travel these routes, linking Asia to the rest of the world. Whoever controls the South China Sea holds the keys to the economic lifeline of half the world's population. Disruptions here could send shockwaves through global supply chains, affecting everything from fuel prices to the availability of consumer products. But it's not just about shipping. Beneath these waters lies a treasure chest of natural resources, vast reserves of oil and natural gas, estimated to be worth billions of dollars, as well as valuable minerals waiting to be tapped. For China, securing access to these resources is a matter of national security and economic survival. Energy independence and resource control are seen as essential for the country's continued growth and stability. The South China Sea is also one of the world's richest fishing grounds, providing food and livelihoods for millions of people in the surrounding countries. The health of these fisheries is crucial for regional food security. China's ambition to dominate this area is unmistakable. Through displays of naval power and rapid island building, Beijing is signaling its intent to control the sea and everything within it. By militarizing artificial islands, Beijing aims to create a fortress in the ocean, projecting power far beyond its shores and challenging the status quo in Asia. The Philippines' exclusive economic zone, rich in resources and vital for its people, directly overlaps with China's sweeping claims. This has led to frequent confrontations, tense standoffs, and a growing risk of conflict. For the Philippines, the South China Sea is not just a strategic asset, it's a fight for economic survival, national pride, and the right to determine its own future. Every day, Filipino fishermen and Coast Guard crews defend their waters, facing intimidation and uncertainty. The sea is the lifeblood of the nation, sustaining communities and shaping destinies. For the Philippines, giving it away is simply not an option. On July 12, 2016, a landmark decision sent shockwaves through the region, forever altering the dynamics of the South China Sea. The world watched as tensions between nations reached a critical point, and the eyes of the international community turned to The Hague for a verdict that would shape the future of maritime boundaries in Asia. The Hague Tribunal delivered a sweeping and historic victory to the Philippines, directly challenging China's expansive claims over the resource-rich waters. This was not just a legal battle, but a test of international law and the rules-based order. The tribunal declared that China's so-called nine-dash line, which claimed nearly the entire South China Sea, had no legal basis under international law. This ruling invalidated decades of Chinese assertions and set a precedent for maritime disputes worldwide. It further ruled that the features China claimed in the Spratly Islands were, in fact, mere rocks and not true islands. This distinction was crucial, as rocks do not generate exclusive economic zones or continental shelves under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. As a result, China's massive artificial island building campaign was deemed unlawful. The tribunal found that these activities had caused severe harm to the marine environment and violated the sovereign rights of the Philippines. The ruling specifically confirmed that areas like Mischief Reef, which China had occupied and built upon, were well within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, granting Manila exclusive rights to resources in those waters. Despite the clarity of the decision, China immediately rejected the ruling, calling it null and void. However, the judgment became a permanent part of international law, setting a legal benchmark for future disputes. For the Philippines, the decision was more than just a legal win. It was a profound moral and symbolic victory. The nation celebrated in the streets, feeling vindicated after years of diplomatic struggle. The ruling galvanized public support across the country and strengthened Manila's resolve to defend its maritime rights. It united the people and government in a renewed commitment to protect their sovereignty. The dispute was now transformed into a clear-cut case of defending sovereign rights, backed by international law and global opinion. With the legal high ground firmly established, the Philippines now faces every encounter in the South China Sea with renewed confidence, knowing that international law is on its side. The Philippines' strategic importance is clear on a map of East Asia. It forms part of the first island chain, a natural barrier separating China from the Pacific. The Bashi Channel, a critical passage, lies between Taiwan and the Philippines. The Philippines acts as an unsinkable aircraft carrier, monitoring movements in the South China Sea. Its geography is a nightmare for Chinese military planners. The archipelago's dispersed geography makes it hard for an enemy to concentrate forces. This strategic advantage is a powerful deterrent. The Philippines' geography grants it influence far beyond its military budget. The Philippines is at the center of a growing web of alliances. The cornerstone is the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty with the United States. This treaty ensures mutual defense in the event of an armed attack. The alliance is strengthened by regular joint military exercises. The Philippines is also strengthening ties with Japan. The Philippines is also strengthening ties with Australia. The Philippines is also strengthening ties with other regional powers. This integrated deterrence strategy creates a formidable coalition. It signals to China that aggression will be met with a coordinated response. The Philippines is a key node in a regional security network. The armed forces of the Philippines is undergoing a transformation. The modernization program aims to defend its maritime territory. The acquisition of the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile is a game-changer. The Philippines can now create a formidable anti-ship defense bubble. The modernization extends to all military branches, with new frigates and fighter jets. The Coast Guard has received larger patrol vessels from Japan and France. The AFP is shifting focus to maritime domain awareness and territorial defense. By investing in smart capabilities, the Philippines can impose high costs on aggressors. It's building a porcupine defense, too prickly for the Chinese dragon to swallow. The Philippines' global diaspora is a powerful asset. Over 12 million Filipinos abroad form a vast network of soft power. They serve as unofficial ambassadors, shaping how the world sees the Philippines. Filipino communities abroad are politically active and can mobilize against Chinese aggression. This grassroots diplomacy personalizes the conflict, turning it into a human story. The influence is strong in the United States, where Filipino Americans form a significant voting bloc. The Philippines exerts cultural influence through music, film, and cuisine. This soft power builds a reservoir of goodwill for the Philippines. China's propaganda machine cannot match the genuine connections of the Filipino community. This people-powered network is a unique source of strength. China faces serious internal and external pressures. The slowing economy and real estate crisis create significant headwinds. Internationally, China faces growing pushback from various countries. The United States focuses on countering China, building coalitions to constrain its ambitions. The PLA is untested in real combat, making military conflict risky. China's gray zone tactics aim to avoid open warfare. The Philippines' strategy exposes these tactics, leaving Beijing with fewer options. The Philippines and China's story is a powerful symbol for the 21st century. It shows a smaller nation can stand up to a superpower. The Philippines is a test case for the future of the international order. Its strategy combines legal, diplomatic, military, and informational tools. The Hague ruling provides the legal foundation. Alliances, especially with the US, provide military support. The modernization of its armed forces gives it credible defense capability. The Philippines represents a crack in the armor of Chinese power. It shows China's claims are not universally accepted. The Philippines stands as a beacon of resistance, a voice the world can no longer ignore.